Hi there. Now, this is a video that I'm just going to put out, which is to talk about marriage vows and us and vows that you've made in this lifetime and other lifetimes, where you've made a vow of betrothal, engagements, and you've betrothed yourself to someone, and you may have even spoken to them and promised them that you'll stay with them for eternity. Now, these sort of statements, when they're said, can actually bind and bond you to that soul. Now, when you're deeply in love and you want to spend eternity with that person, and, then you quite happily want to be bonded to them for eternity. But if that marriage goes wrong and they turn out to not be who you thought they were, you don't want to spend eternity with them, do you? Especially if they've turned out to be a narcissist or an abuser, or that it was a bit of a setup. So this is what I'm talking about. Now, I have, and what I do is I write contract breakers, I call them, and superconscious rescinding statements. And what these do is we're using universal and divine law to break contracts on a soul level. And we do this so that we enable you to regain your divine soul sovereignty and your liberation and freedom. And there's no way we can ascend or go to higher levels of consciousness with contracts running. Of course, we've got contracts running on a soul level with the divine, or with a council of light that we may have agreed to deliver a particular mission, or we have a contract with another soul in regards to working together with that mission. But there are many negative contracts that we're running on a soul level, which are silent, which I've talked about over and over again. And you can look at other videos on this YouTube channel where I talk about that. Okay. Particularly, we're going to talk about marriage vows. And it's about the fact that if you married someone, say 30 years ago, and it turned out to be not such a good marriage, and maybe abuse took place in that marriage of some sort, have you got maybe a problem with them keep cropping back into your life? Or is that energy hanging around you? Has it been used as an excuse or a binding, that marriage vow, for them to keep coming back into your life over and over again and trying to repeat the energy? Maybe with you bringing up the children and then them using the excuse to use the children against you, or they have keep bringing back what you did to them, even though it's 25 years ago. Or just that you can't move on from the relationship. You feel like maybe you were married 10 years ago and you've not been able to have a relationship since, because you feel such a empowering binding to that relationship or marriage. Even if they had walked out on you and left you, as it left you in like a dead zone where you can't move on, like you're still bound to them in some way, even though they've moved on with their life and they've gone on with it? Or are you having trouble with a spouse or a separation where the other person will not divorce you, and you have a problem? And you will have a problem on a 3D level with being in a like holding pattern and static pattern with them, but also on an energetic level that will keep you bound to that person in the etheric realms. And it is a contract. And actually, marriage contracts can actually pull down your soul vibration, because I've experienced it. So I know that's true. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you a superconscious rescinding statement and a contract breaker. And we're going to just show you how, if you can use this document and say it 3 times out loud in your power, maybe if you've got an altar, or you can light a candle, light some sage or incense first. Say it 3 times and mean it, and we'll, bringing in the power of your soul guides and your I am presence to witness it. Then that will be a powerful release of that. I mean, you can do it on a new moon or a full moon. Not that I really use moon rituals anymore, but if you prefer to do that on an eclipse, a new moon, a full moon, you can do, or even on the anniversary of your wedding, you can do it then, and it's a very powerful thing. So I'm going to show you the wording, and I will type the wording will be in the description of the video as well. And come back and share with me what happened after you did this. This is part of a bank of contract breakers, and I keep wanting to say code breakers. This is a bank of contract breakers and superconscious rescinding statements that I keep that are in my liberation and sovereignty pathways for starseeds that works under my membership, and also by being able to buy the course as well. So, and also I use this with all my mentoring clients as well. So I'm going to hopefully share a screen here. So we'll see how clever I am at doing this. And it's not letting me do that. You can just see that at the minute, but then I'm going to go and try and find it. And it's got lost, which is hilarious. Here we go. Aha, we got it. So here we go. So this is my superconscious rescinding statement to cancel marriage vows, oaths, vows, and decrees. So I'm just going to go through it with you briefly, okay? And then it will be in the description underneath, and you can try this. Now, if you're in a marriage right now, just be aware that that will cause a change, right? But if you're in an unhappy marriage, right, and you want to leave, this could assist you to leave. If the energy is oppressive and controlling and dominating, this might help you be able to leave. Okay, so it can be used for different things. So here we go. So I'm just going to read it out and what it says. So it's super conscious by the force of grace. Will you bring me the essence of the performance and the effect and the full embodiment of my formally cancelling, deleting, nullifying, and uncreating all marriage vows, oaths, vows, and decrees, promises, and betrothals? I formally rescind all agreements, covenants, vows, oaths, promises, declarations that I made under duress when I was forced to marry or be betrothed to someone else I did not love or like due to political alliances, contracts, or agreements made between my parents, relatives, etc. That's talking about other lifetimes where we could have been forced to marry someone we didn't want to due to a political alliance. If you were a daughter of a king or a nobleman, you know, all the other different timelines. So it's addressing that as well, okay? And carry on. I also fully rescind, clear, cancel, delete, and uncreate all black magic spells, incantations, hexes, curses, bindings, black magic, rituals, and ceremonies, and mind control programming that may have been used to install me in the vows. I fully rescind these now in all timelines, past, present, and future, in all fake and false timelines, in all artificial intelligence generated timelines, in all parallel lives, parallel dimensions, parallel universes, parallel densities, and in all dimensions and densities, and in all places and spaces in between. I'm covering every angle of where that energy could be hiding. So that's why I have to go into detail. Okay. Next, I ask the councils of light, my I am presence, and the courts of heaven to dissolve all of these and restore me to my divine soul sovereignty. And I call back my light, my soul gifts and abilities, and all my cords of light. And I call back my power that I may have lost. I am a divine feminine sovereign being, or you can say I am a divine masculine sovereign being. And I ask the cosmic divine mother to overlight my full pathway back to my God self and return to my divine spiritual blueprint. Then we say, I now send back all shame, guilt, burden, and spiritual equity which may have been placed upon me by the above, and I send back now all spiritual equity to the dark lords and souls that may have been responsible for my entrapment. I acknowledge the lessons and give gratitude for the experiences of true divine and romantic love I have experienced, and I ask the superconscious for new pictures of reality to reflect these rescindments. I release the superconscious back to perfection in love, grace, and gratitude. It is done. It is done. It is done. Now, what that will do is initiate a process of the bindings and the contracts to start to be dissolved. Now, your I am presence, we've asked in a statement to overlight that. So your I am presence will take charge of that and how it takes place. And it's your job to trust your I am presence and to trust how they will deliver that. And as I say, it's very powerful, and it's especially great and good for those men and women that feel like they've been trapped in marriage vows that maybe won't be released by their partners, and also for you to mop up any contracts that may still be running in the divine regarding your previous marriages, not only this lifetime but others, and your betrothals, which means engagements as well. So I hope this has been useful for you. It's delivered and created with divine love for you to help you regain your total divine soul sovereignty and freedom. And let me know how you get on. Leave me some comments. I'd love to know if that actually assisted you and helped you in some way. And if you know someone that could do with this video, please share it, please subscribe, and I will be doing plenty more of these over the next up and coming months. And stay in your power, in your light, in your heart, and you're going to be fine. So sending you lots of love, and thank you for listening. Bye.